here, or if Sirius be moving on to day 2 right off the bat, handing it on over to Jingyi and Forecourt Jester.
Said this once already today, Shinji. Gankstars have a lot on the line if they want to be going into their world, but Velocity doing some really good second round drafting. First one kind of fell a little bit flat, and apparently, Shinji, I've lost you. You are no longer with us, so I'm going to send out a search party for your account because you didn't join the game, apparently.
I didn't get the invite.
Alright, Exceptions has got your back. Don't worry, we'll just listen to the sultry sounds of Forecourt. And, you know, AJ is like, I don't like your transitions here, Forecourt. Well, I'm sorry, AJ. I have a girlfriend, and I like her way more than you. So, I'm just going to stay with that. Yeah, it's just be you and Sona. We'll get you guys a room at Worlds, and you guys can just do whatever you need to do. So, Gankstars trying to do whatever they need to do here, Shinji, because Velocity is going to be trying to put up something of a front. Zeo on that Kestrel. It's not quite, you know, Saw, but they also subbed out 2 Tigers. It's going to be Aloha here. This is kind of the dream team of Velocity, and we'll have to see if they can pull out a win. If they don't, that's going to be another kind of terrible record for them this round, because Velocity is sitting on 1 point in the split. That would actually be back-to-back splits with a single point. All right.
Wow, I'm back. This was exciting.
I know, I
Don't really
timed
know
that
what
out
happened.
nearly
Don't know what
perfectly. It's okay, it's all good. But you are in here, yeah?
Yes, I am in here.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think I just got kicked out when Status locked into Rona, so I was just listening to the host like, where are they getting this Rona from?
Are they playing with me? Rona right now up against Aloha down here in the jungle, but we got wrecked. Just taking a little bit more of the long way around. He does have that Lance again, and Vane's once more on the repeat Lyra, but overall, just not really a lot to be going on. They just bounce back and forth. It's a bit more of a farm game. Nice and easy early. There's no timers here for Velocity, at least none that's is barely obvious. But what do you think of the comps here, Miss?
I think it's very dangerous that that Wrecked got Lance again. And considering the number of times people said, don't give Wrecked Lance, don't give Wrecked Lance, don't give Wrecked Lance, he just got it again. And I think it's maybe not the best idea. I think Gankstars Sirius have a very strong comp. And it's... Oh, no old skill.
Yeah, I don't know why he thought that would work, but I mean, it was going to be a sandwich regardless. Velocity at 3 in that area. Rect was trying to be the distraction. Status Fake, though, is going to be coming into this run. I'm not entirely sure that this is going to be a fantastic idea, but there we go. Velocity will just actually bounce out of that, and they will be up a kill. But anyways, continuing your thoughts as the Aloha and Old School actually might.
What were my thoughts?
I don't know. You don't know them.
Crisis now. Whew. What I think I was going to say is that Rona and Lance there on the side of Gankstars Sirius are very strong, very tanky front line, whereas I feel for Hammer's Velocity, they just have to rely on Blackfeather to dive down to the back line. And you're looking at Gankstars Sirius and wondering who's going to be the main damage dealer here. Is it Old School or Status Fake? And it's going to be very hard to differentiate between the two from about which one they need to take out first. Old School obviously is the easiest to burst down, but Status Fake does that Rona. We've seen so much of Rona, but Aloha!
Yeah, he's not level 6. He can't go over that wall. Old School's going to be there as well, and he's got to be careful. Vanes is laying into him, but it's going to be just enough for Old School in order to get the kill. He will survive this one as well. Vanes is not so silly to try to push that advantage, and it was not going to be an advantage for long. And Gankstars will get that kill, and they will return right up back to the lane in order to pick up, well, most of the farm. They lost out a minion or two.
Well, a minion. By Vanes, he's doing his Sky Trap round right now, and I think that's very important considering the last time they were able to take down Aloha just because he had no idea that Wrecked and Status Fake were on their way into his jungle. And, well, I think that'll certainly go a long way in making sure that doesn't happen because Aloha, he needs to get a lot of farm because it's on the lane. It's going to take him a little bit longer than that lane Blackfeather to get that Breaking Point, Serpent's Mask, general defense items. And we're seeing that Gankstars Sirius aren't making that easy for him yet.
Alright, Gankstars also, they should actually know at this point that Velocity is going to be a double weapon comp now that we've got our feet on the ground. So Aloha, as you did say, kind of a little bit more of a traditional build, you think, with that Serpent's Mask, Breaking Point, and Shiver Steel in there. All I heard was 9.
I was like, I.
Oh, I. Alright, not 9. Like 9. 9 CS? No, he's at 30 CS. But it is double weapon. There's no crystal here, so we should start seeing some armor built up pretty drastically here for Gankstars, and that's actually pretty good there for Status Fake as well, because he seems to be going very easily into a similar build path as Velocity, but doesn't have to diversify into Crystal. Now, Old School is going to be that Crystal Adagio. I would be very curious if he went weapon into a game like this, and I think pretty much spec solidified here at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like the double weapon, I feel that Hammer's Velocity maybe would have done a little bit better if it had that crystal, just a crystal someone. Crystal jungler, yeah. And the reason I'm saying this is, you know, sometimes I feel like it does work, but because they go, Zio, nice one. Oh no. Oh, no.
Yeah, but he's gonna live through this. Rex has no recourse. Oh,
no, he's not. No, he's not.
Zio, we don't have roll. No roll, doesn't matter. Gifting Wall's gonna be enough. We did use boots for it. Aloha has that level 6, but he's not gonna push it. Vayne's not enough energy here, so Old School just takes the quick way home. He's gonna farm up. 6 minutes in, he does pick up that alternating current, so at least he does have that tier 3. Still looking for it here on the junglers, but Zio has that Sorrow Blade there as well, and just getting up in the face of Old School. Yeah, very well
indeed. There. Very well indeed. And as I was going to my point was before I got rudely interrupted by Old School dying. So the problem is with this is that Status Bacon and Rex, they both have the ability to dive on to either Aloha and especially Zio to get that Poggins down. And the thing I feel is double weapon does so well in the early game, especially if the enemy team don't itemize against it. But I feel in the late game it really does struggle, and you're really looking for those longer team fights if you want double weapon to work, especially in the late game. And you can see already that Rex, he does co-op plate, Status Baked, he's got that light armor. But Old School, where's your armor?
Doesn't need it, he's Old School, baby. He's just right there in the lane, he's taking names, he can heal himself, he can burst! He can't do much to Adagio, at least, I mean, that's one theory at any rate. So he very likely will get armor by the end of it.
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll see.
Look how much the Glimmer Shots are doing.
Yeah, it's actually adding up quite a bit. Status Fake leaping into the fray. That wasn't actually a Bulwark or the Lance Impale. Yeah, the spin doing alright. Rex is going to tank that up, no problem. Old School now trying to trade out with Vaynes. And Vaynes are going to be a very integral part of this comp once more here from Velocity. Not only is it additional poke and keep them on the back foot, but it's the heals, the trades, right?
Oh,
Aloha himself will be slippery, but now backed up by Sigils and Bulwarks and all that.
Scythian.
Yeah.
I love right Scythians, they're fantastic.
Yeah, the Impales are a little lackluster this round. Still looking for that triple, right? Still looking for the doubles and the triples that we used to see.
Just not the same, but he's doing well with his Scythians, like just punching someone into the turret, like just repositioning to get them there. Really nice job so far with that, actually. But it's 2-2. Very, very passive, actually, for NA, I guess.
You know, we did challenges this week, and you're like, oh man, EU game's so slow, NA so bloodthirsty. Don't you reverse your opinion on me
Well,
now.
that's because the day before, I was doing the challenges with, I think, Scoundrel for EU, and it was like 20 minutes, and every single game I was like, why is it only like 1-2 right now? And then by NA, it was 7 minutes, and it was like 10-10. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, so this is a very EU style game then.
Yeah, I'd say still more active than EU, I think, in terms of aggression.
Oh,
No,
wow.
I just feel like EU, they just completely back away from fights. NA, you were seeing Gankstars, they're picking those fights aggressively, but they are still backing away appropriately, where I think EU just tends to get poked out a little bit and then run away until the late game, where all the fights suddenly matter a lot.
Ooh, Old School, are you going to win that one? We did have a few there. Shots, Status baked into the back, and Zio just stopped looking for the one-shot. Does get dodged out. He is still, however, going to survive. The portals are there, and Vaynes, with that fountain, with the sigils, keeps the team actually really healthy. Old School now not looking at so much. So Rex, as the frontliner, going to be alright, but Sazbake is kind of giving up on this point. He is going to go off into the jungle, though. Aloha is not going to chase that out. He doesn't get any attempt at a steal either.
Nope, we're not going to see any steal right now, but the pressure that Hammer's Velocity are laying down on the Gankstars turret right now, just so much, and you're absolutely right, Vaynes, he's doing so well at keeping the team alive, but Aloha!
Yeah, Sazbake tried, he had that red mist ready to go, but Aloha just able to barrel roll out with the Rose Offensive, and the Infinite Escape plus Vaynes, as I said. You know, Vaynes would be very integral for this comp, because they can just poke all day.
Yeah, and the thing is, Aloha he isn't tanky enough to be going straight into the midst of all fights. He does have that Serpents, which is great, giving that extra bit of sustain, but defense-wise, there really isn't much to keep him alive from Old School and Rex. So you just, Old School and Status Bait. So there's a good reason why he had to back away so quickly.
And Velocity backing all the way out to give over that gold mine. So a little bit of a cash lead was actually going to Velocity earlier on. Gankstars now definitely solidified into just over 1,500 or so. 10 minutes in, that's not exactly a big lead here. You did say it's a bit more of a passive game here, Xingyi. Second item from Old School though, just before the 11-minute mark, doing well for himself. Zeo, a little bit of defense, looking for that monocle. Old School's gonna take some damage here. Here comes Rex.
Oh, you can.
They're not going to dive this. They might get turret. Zeo, I think, has the damage. He absolutely does. They'll get nailed by the Atlas there at the end, but Aloha, again, barrel rolls to safety. That's a miss. These Lance impales, unfortunately, just not up to the caliber that we're used to seeing. And Velocity's going to stay at least a little bit more mobile for now. They're not getting locked down. And Gankstars are having trouble finding kills.
They really are, and I think part of the reason is they're picking a lot of these fights in the lane, and I think Gankstars Sirius will do really well in those fights. Like those full all fights in an open area when Status Bait and Rex is able to go straight in and Old School is able to land the heals and just use his Agent of Wrath from afar. Right now he's in a lane, he's standing in a cluster with the rest of his teammates, and it's making it very easy for Zeo to reposition and just land those glimmer shots on him. Old School taking a lot of damage from that, and partly is the reason is he only has that coat of plates, which is fine for him because he does have one of the longest ranges in the game. But it doesn't mean he's not immune to being able to avoid the glimmer shots right now. We're seeing Rect and Status Bait, they're really prioritizing that defense, that armor, and you can just look at it. But I think this is one of the games where both teams are really fighting for, well, Gankstars are really fighting for that late game fight. I feel like Hammers Velocity really need to be being a little bit more aggressive right now.
You think they should be trying to press their advantage more?
Yeah, I feel like especially as a double weapon comp, they have the advantage, and I think they may already have lost a little bit of it because there is so much armor on the side of Status Bait and Rex. And
yeah, no bone saws yet, but we do got some infusions. Zeo did pick up the monocle. He has his level 9 infusion there. Status Bake has his level 11, did go into this Atlas. We're double Atlas here from the side of the Gankstars. We did pick up one from Aloha as well, so there's definitely some target firing going down. Rex going to be just trying to jump into this one. Bulwark was there, and Veins hit the boots, just got right out of dodge. And Gankstars still struggling, they're still looking for this entrance. Rex, though, hits the boot, only gets that get-the wall on top of Veins, and again, not really a lot of follow-up. There it is, into the fray. Status Bait could be bringing Veins down.
Oh,
and
still
it's a
nice
dodgy over
typing.
the artillery at the end. We will actually get the kill on top of Veins. Aloha down half. Zeo trying to trade this one back out, but the armor's working. There's the double rip, but no into the fray here from Status Big. Old School down a little bit too low here as well. They can't go under this turret, and that's some glimmer shots. Return and fire. We've already used the one shot, and I don't think Aloha is going to be diving deep for this one. So Gankstars are going to be wounded, but they're not out. We did lose out one from Velocity. That's respawn just came up though.
Yeah, so that was a very close one actually, and what was good about that was that we saw Status Bait jumping straight into the middle of all three members of Hammers Velocity, was able to land the Atlas pause. If you notice, Old School was just standing in the background, dealing a lot of damage to Veins, taking them very quickly. Not the steal, not the steal.
No, there wasn't much of a steal, but as soon as the flare went up, Velocity was looking to actually cut off the transition here from Gankstars, but they were denied. As soon as that flare went up, they saw them all sort of low on that gold miner. They started moving, but it's a little bit too late right there. No predictions were made, so no movement there from Velocity, but it is still going to be gold lead for Gankstars. That was probably our last gold miner of the game as well. 14 minutes in, we're going to have Kraken here soon.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake right now, and I think both of the teams are hyper aware of what would happen if it went wrong, especially for Hammers Velocity. They're, I think, 6th on the table right now, and, well, they need to try and win this. If they even have a hope. I don't think they have a hope of...
Absolutely not.
No, they don't have the points, but they can really make a dent in Gankstars' attempt for Worlds if they can...
Gankstars and Solo Mid tied at 12 points. It is actually still Gankstars ahead of the curve, but Velocity has 1 point for the split. And they are 6th, as we did mention. So yeah, there's a lot of deny potential. If Gankstars can't get any more points this week, there's some really strong evidence that they're not going to be finishing out first. And that's a lack of cash, that's a little bit of lack of hope because they are one of those higher up teams that don't have an auto invite. So if they drop too far, they could actually not go.
Well, I think if anyone's watching the EU portion from before, they've already, Gankstars Sirius already have that spot in Worlds from one of the third spots from EU anyway. And Sirius are looking to do it in 2 regions, a very impressive feat.
Okay, so Wrecked, he's going forward. We did get the portal out there.
Old School, you don't
though,
follow
through. Oh, the sigil just not enough. We had enough healing at the bank to keep Old School alive, but portal's down, one shot is down. Wrecked and Status Fake, you can see immediately they get in front of Old School. If there is any chase, they got to go through that beefy wall, and that was a very terrifying moment as Old School very nearly just kind of throwing himself into the wind on that one. Portal into the active camo. Big props to Zeo to set that one up there with Vanes.
Well, I don't even know if that was intentional, because I don't think Old School really ever meant to go through that.
Old School, I mean, intentional or not, it nearly got them the kill. That kill could have actually swayed the game heavily for Velocity's momentum.
Yeah, it was a nice save. I think we saw Rex roll through the wall just to get in front of Old School, which was really nicely done, and Old School got forced to use out his boots to, well, escape around the wall into safety, but their 8 hammers are definitely looking for blood.
Alright, no portal this time. Wreck, triple root. Here comes Status, and he's looking to just spin to win. Aloha, we got Old School. He's not going to get the stun on Aloha, but he is going to bring him down low. Now it's going to be Wrecked. He's looking for that gift in, and that's going to be it. Does miss out the impale as he turns and pivots for Zeo. But at least Gankstars get 1 kill out of this one. Will they be going for Kraken? They're going to be trying to push this turret. There is 1 turret down in the game, Jingyi, from from either side. It's just that one. This is a pristine outer turret here for Velocity with 2 defenders on him.
I think they could do it. Zeo's very rooted, actually.
Yeah, he's rooted. He's Githian, but there's no Status Fake. Will that actually matter? Could Wreck get it? Yes, he's going to get the stun, but Zeo hit the camo. Old School doesn't care. He notices he's not anywhere else. Has to be in the bush. And here comes Wrecked, just going down to the shop, maybe looking for a potion, maybe even the train. Down low, they got the kill. The 2 defenders could not hold. The turret down as well. That's now almost, 3? Yeah, just over 3,000 gold here for Gankstars, and they are starting up Kraken.
I don't know if you're watching the whole Wrecked Zeo sequence up in the turret, but that was absolutely fantastic.
He got he had the impale, the Githian, the roll, the Githian, but he couldn't finish it off because of the camo.
And he was taking the turret the whole time. It was great.
That's what happens when you triple up on armor.
Very true. And yeah, well, oh my gosh, they stole it!
Zeo the God, the one shot. Oh, guys, you gotta remember, 1 shot, 1 kills can turn games. Kraken's now not even going to be a focus here. Gankstars, they're looking for blood. They want some of these kills. Vane's right there. Wreck already down low. Status Fake, however, is doing some spinning. Maybe even going to be winning with that burst of judgment as well. Vane's down low. He's up against the wall. He can't go anywhere. Aloha on the retreat. Here comes Status Fake. Again, just trying to make as much damage stick as he can. Zeo will drop, and Old School will clean up here with Wrecked as well. It will be an ace, but the Kraken is working on the turrets. It's not going to get too much more than that one, but, you know, it goes all that momentum from Gankstars.
Well, this is interesting. Seeing Old School going insane. I'm not going to go help at the turret. Lance, as the roam, I believe in you. You can do this yourself. And he's just going for 2 turrets.
And he can heal.
Yeah, it's really clever, actually, and it's really balancing up the gold, because they're going to get 600 gold from the turrets, and they're going to get that 500 gold from that Kraken whenever they take it down. They may have lost 300 because the Kraken. But
they're enough here to bring this one down. It's going to be a 1 shot there from afar. Was not blocked out. Did actually hit the turret, and yeah, the turret will survive. We got Status Fake here as well. 8 kills in 3 though. Jingyi, we're up to, well, that's going to be what, 6-ish? Yeah, 6,000, 5,000 gold.
I think it'd be like, that's 3 and 8, so that's 6, and I was like, no, 4-4, that's 11 kills that's in this game so far. But
gold lead miss.
Don't make fun of forecourts.
Hashtag caster math. Yeah. We don't have the numbers man here. I'm a very poor substitute for numbers when Bacon's not around.
Cry. I'll do my best, forecourt. I'll do my best. I can't live up to the legend though, can I?
Sona Storm here today. That's alright. EU had a pretty fantastic broadcast, all things considered. Aloha goes nothing into Breaking Point, nothing into a Shiver Steel. With this Black Feather, he went into that Bonesaw. Zeo did actually go into the double crit, though. There's no Bonesaw available to him. That's kind of surprising to me.
It is kind of surprising. I think maybe he's just going for that burst, ignoring the fact just because if by giving the bone soul, they are looking for more prolonged fights, and just having that crit might help a little bit with bursting through. But you have to wonder, if you just look at the armor across the board on Gankstars Sirius, it's frightening. Because status baked, that's pauldrons, coat plates, wrecked, pauldrons, coat plates, and those go to metal jacket. That has a lot of armor that needs shredding through. And I think there's a good reason why we are seeing Gankstars Sirius winning in these fights, because they've got the burst, they've got crystal and weapon, and it's a lot more difficult for Hammer's Velocity to try and itemize and defend against that.
Old school as well. We have a double crucible situation from Gankstars. There's no Aegis there on top of him. Doesn't actually need the shield that comes out of it. But he does have that crucible, so he can use it personally, he can use it for the team, but that's 2 crucibles, fountain, and a ton of armor. Status Bake might even, jump into a 3rd here for the team. And that's a lot to go through, especially with no Bone Saw coming out from one of the main carries here from Zeo. But maybe the crits will be enough, maybe they won't. We have another Kraken coming up, Xingyi.
We'll see another steal.
It's very possible. There's one route. We got a bulwark there as well. And Status Baked. There we go. Into the fray. He will at least get some damage done up against the wall with the Githyan and Seal. We've got one fountain. There goes the first, bringing down Velocity down to about half. All 3 members hit for that one. Status Baked will get one. Looking for the second Veins. All through that portal, but Status Bake, he's not going to let him go into the fray. Catching up, and the shots from Old School from the side as well. This is looking good for a 2-0 from Gankstars, as they have cleaned up 2 more kills, and there's only 2 turrets between them and victory.
Indeed. It was quite a tense moment there. In that fight, I think there's a thing with Velocity, they don't really have that peel. I guess you do have the bulwark and the arcane passage, but they gosh!
No sanctuary for you. That's an ace. The minions are here, and who needs Helga? She can just stay over there with that spawn point. This will be 2-0, and Gankstars will keep their hopes and dreams alive at least a little bit longer. That puts them up 14 points, 12-2 for wins and losses. We will see more play tomorrow as well to try to keep that #1 spot.
Yeah, well, Hammer's Velocity, they dropped out. One thing